Now, a few months ago, we reviewed a hand cannon called Spare Rations. A lot of comparisons have been made between this hand cannon and Midnight Coup. Rightfully so, they're both in the same slot, present there in that kinetic slot, both a 150 round per minute hand cannon, and both are very, very deadly for both PvE and for PvP. But of course, Midnight Coup can't roll with random rolls, which is the reason why Spare Rations has become the superior 150 pretty much overall in terms of like legendaries. Now, in order to get this hand cannon, you gotta play Gambit Prime or do something I think specifically in Reckoning. I honestly have no idea. Somebody in the comments below, feel free to let me know. I will pin that comment so that we all know exactly how to get this hand cannon. But shout out to Grim here for snagging this roll. Now, when I made a review of Spare Rations previously, I had talked about the similarities between this and Midnight Coup. Although the roll back then was much different than something like Midnight Coup. It actually came with Subsistence and Swashbuckler. You could compare that perk combination to something like Outlaw and Rampage, as they kind of do the same thing, but today's weapon review is definitely more apples to apples, as this roll right here could be directly compared to Midnight Coup. Now, first up guys, intrinsically this is a lightweight frame hand cannon. So yeah, you do move a little faster. You also get that superb handling, all that good stuff that make the weapon feel super snappy. Now, our first barrel perk here is actually Arrowhead Break. That's actually the recommended barrel perk. Like if you look on Destiny Item Manager, that's what it recommends. And yes, it does tack on that extra recoil direction, keeping the weapon a little more vertical, but I went with full bore just because I wanted to overload my range as much as I possibly can. Now, our magazine perks is high cal rounds and ricochet rounds. I stayed with ricochet rounds. I'm kind of like torn on how I feel about high cal. I know it's supposed to flinch. Does it really help me in gunfights? I don't know. Me personally, in my experience today, at least with Spare Rations, ricochet rounds, at least in PvP, was the better option. But of course, you could go high caliber rounds in something like PvE. To me though, ricochet rounds is just perfect for just adding a little bit of stability, allowing for that follow-up shot to be a little easier to land. Now, the first trait is Rapid Hit. Rapid precision hits temporarily increase stability and reload speed. Very underrated perk. My God, how many times have we praised Rapid Hit? It is beautiful. It has combined the elements of Zen Moment and Outlaw into one, and it requires you simply to land precision hits, which is not for everyone, and of course can be difficult in certain situations. But man, if you can land those precision hits, especially with Spare Rations and Rapid Hit, my God, does it stabilize the gun. And again, this stacks up to 5 times, and it just turns into straight nasty, especially if you start chaining kills into one another. Now remember, when you reload, Rapid Hit goes away. It starts over, which is why I think Rampage is perfect here with Rapid Hit versus something like Kill Clip, as that trait just begs us to put the foot on the pedal and keep chaining kill after kill. And having a magazine size, a default magazine size here of 13, is plenty enough ammo to chain kills. So yes guys, this is to me a perfect comparison between this and Midnight Coup, and a much superior version to Midnight Coup. And what you see in this gameplay is not even the final form here of Spare Rations. I don't even have a Rampage spec on this weapon, which of course would have given us an extra second there to chain kills to, thus resulting in allowing me to hang on to Rampage even longer. And just one stack of Rampage elevates the damage here on this weapon to 75 per crit from 68 and 47 per body from 43, thus allowing us to snag a kill on Guardians 8 resilience or less at 2 crits and 1 body. So guys, overall, Spare Rations, like we talked about it before in the past, it's worth going after. It's a very solid 150, and considering that Not Forgotten Luna's Howl is about to get a nerf, I'm not saying Spare Rations is going to be better than those two hand cannons, as they're pretty much going to be in the same archetype. The only difference being, of course, the precision frame that's still going to be present on Luna's Howl, Not Forgotten, and Magnificent Howl. I think weapons like Spare Rations is going to present some good competition against Luna and Not Forgotten, especially with rolls like you see today. And even if you wanted to go further than that, like if you wanted to use a Rapid Hit kill clip, that's not a bad option to go with. Me personally, I would love to actually try Rapid Hit with rangefinder. Like the weapon's already really snappy. Aiming down sights with it is obviously not a problem. You'll be able to take advantage of rangefinder so many times. Combine that with ricochet rounds, maybe a range masterwork if you're lucky, and Rapid Hit for that stability in those mid ranges. You'll have a really good 150 round per minute hand cannon that can still snag shots in the mid range. Now granted, Not Forgotten's already going to possess that mid-range lethality, which is probably still going to put it ahead of something like Spare Rations, but we still don't know yet. Like, until we're actually shooting Not Forgotten and see how it behaves, I still can't tell you how those pinnacle weapons are going to stand once they're actually dealt with. The two hand cannons that I would keep my eyes out for, though, outside of the exotic ones, Service Revolver, obviously, could be probably the nastiest hand cannon, especially for console players, and Spare Rations, especially for my PC players. So guys, that is Spare Rations. For PvE out there, yes, this is definitely, like, if you're a PvE player, and especially if you love hand cannons, you gotta get this hand cannon. Like, gotta get it. And you probably already have it if you play a lot of Gambit. I'm kicking myself right now for not having a better roll than what I got. I got a Spare Rations, but it's a garbage roll, and I don't even remember how I got it. I think it was just from a random game inside of Gambit Prime. But you can see how well it does against enemies inside of PvE. I mean, again, guys, essentially the same thing as Midnight Coup, and actually better. And it's not just better because of the fact that you get to add on mods here, because of course that does elevate our damage if you happen to put on a minor spec, or maybe if you wanted to slap on a backup mag. No, to me, what makes it better is simply the fact that Rapid Hit is a better trait than Outlaw. Oh my God, did he say that? Yeah, it is though, guys. It really is. Rapid Hit has reload speed, not as fast as Outlaw, but my God, it's pretty close. And the amount of stability and ease of use that you get with that trait is more than enough reason to get this hand cannon, especially when pairing it with something like Rampage. So guys, that is the roll that you see today. A very good roll. I am considering re-reviewing this weapon again with a few rolls in mind. I know I talked about Rampage and Rapid Hit together. Kill Clip, of course, and Rapid Hit would be good. But I'm actually curious about the curated version, which is actually this Hammer Forged Rifling, Appendant Mag, Overflow, and Explosive Payload. Now, the reason why I want to go with this, it reminds me of like Better Devils, right? But a 150 version. I don't necessarily not like having something there buffing the damage, but I am curious about that curated roll. The other thing I'm curious about is actually 4th times the charm and multi-kill clip. Now, I know that sounds like an odd one. I'm just more or less curious if 4th times the charm can activate multi-kill clip. Like, I'm almost 100% certain it can activate kill clip, and I'm almost 100% certain it probably won't do the same thing for multi-kill clip. But I am curious whether or not it could actually do something there. Like, if Bungie happened to not code it right or something and it activates and it's not supposed to, I want to know. If you happen to have that roll, guys, let me know, because I am curious. Besides that, I am curious about 4 times the charm with Rampage. Now, you don't get the reload speed nor stability from Rapid Hit, but being able to sit there and just kind of lay on the trigger and land kill after kill, reload the magazine, and simultaneously keep Rampage going at all times, or for at least an extended period of time, could be pretty nasty. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, why not Subsistence with something like Rampage? Subsistence is good. I would love it way more if it didn't take away so much of your reserve ammo. Like, that's my biggest complaint about it. It just takes away so much here. So I just always find myself, at least when I'm testing things, to be running out of ammo. So again, guys, we might actually re-review this hand cannon a 3rd time, but with it wrapping up toward the end of the season, I definitely want to be covering all of these Gambit Prime weapons before we move into Season of Opulence. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.